Hey guys, welcome back to Bait and Tackle, and today we are going to be doing the Pony Head Jig. And I just got this mold from Barlow's Tackle, which we are affiliated with, and I want to just put a shout out right now to people that have been buying from Barlow's and using my code to help support the channel. And every time you guys use my code, I mean, you don't get a percentage off, but I get a little bit of a kickback so that I can buy more stuff to show you guys on the channel. So the more you guys do, the more I can get and show you guys. And I gotta say, I've got a pretty big selection of do-it molds at this moment in time, especially for lead. So continue to support me and I will keep showing you what I can. So this one is the Do-It Pony Head Jig, and this one is the PHB 5A, which is various different sizes. I think you can get them where you can get all of one size. I think there's two of those, and I can't remember what the ounces were. You'd have to go on Barlow's and check it out. But anyway, so we're gonna go ahead and do these, and I'm kind of excited because I've wanted to do these for a while. And I've got everything necessary for what we needed to do. I think these are like size 12 swivels we needed to do these. So we needed swivels, and then we also needed some 570 or 575 eagle claw hooks, which I've got those as well. And these I use quite a bit frequently anyway because I use them with my smaller underspins. So we're gonna go ahead and make up a couple different sizes. Probably do, I think I've got some size 4 and some size 6, so we'll go really tiny. I want to see how well these do, and I think I'm going to just do one of each and we can check those out. And I'll do the pour. I'm not sure if we're going to do the painting today, but we'll at least pour them, see how they go. I think I'm going to go ahead and hit these before we even start with some of the infamous Frankfurt Arsenal dropout. This stuff works great. I've heard some other people give me some suggestions on some kind of a like a telca powder or some kind of a chalk type material you can put inside the molds as well. I can't remember who said that to me, but thank you very much. I'm going to try that as well at some point here. But for right now, we're just going to use this, which I heard was some kind of a graphite spray. That's what that is. So let's go ahead and we're going to go ahead and spray these out. Let me get you a different view so we can get this rolling. Okay, so we're just, like I said, we're just going to hit each cavity, both sides, with the dropout. And I'm just going to go ahead and lightly, like I said, lightly hit. And the important thing here is the stems that have the bait keeper on them. And I'm just, like I said, I'm just lightly, just for the first run, we're going to lightly coat them. Okay, that'll do it. And I need to get some other hooks out. I ordered size 4 and size 6, but I'm also going to need, it looks like, a 1/0 or a 1, a 2/0, and a 3/0. Okay, so I think we can handle that. So here's a size 1, but I think what we'll do is we'll do a 1/0 on that one. Put a little bit bigger of a hook on that one. So we got some 2/0s here. And I need some 1/0s, and I need some 3/0s. There's some 2s. Here's some 1/0s. So we got 1/0. So 6/4, 1/0s, 2/0s. And we should have some 3/0s here from the stuff that I've done. Yep, there's some 3/0s there. Okay, so we'll put these back. drop those on the floor, so I'm just going to leave them down there for right now. I'll pick those up later. We got 2 bags of our little swivels, and it's the same size swivel in each mold. So let's get out a couple of these. And these are very small. I mean, if you look at these in my hand, I'm not even sure I'm going to be able to show you. They're so small. And this one just flew out of my hand. I can't even pick the dang thing up. It is very, very tiny. So we're going to put one of those in each cavity. Yes, that's very, very, very tiny, especially in that smallest one. But I see what they're doing here. Okay. Probably a lot easier when the cavities are bigger. So I don't know if you guys can see that. I'm going to tilt it up just a little bit so you can see. I'm going to have to kind of lay those out, but I've got each one of those in there in each cavity just like that. Okay, and then you put the hooks in, and the hook eyes go to the back side. So let me get the hooks put in, and I'll get you guys another view. So these are going to be all different sizes. This one's going to be a 3/0. This one's going to be a 2/0. And it looks like you can do various sizes on some of these. Like I could bring down the hook size on that one to a 2/0 if I wanted to. And this one that I'm putting in right now is a 1/0 or a 2/0. I'm going to do the 2/0. So I'm going to do the biggest ones I can for each one. So here's a 1/0 for the next cavity. And it's so strange to me putting these hooks in there, and they're kind of the opposite direction of the other stuff. So it's a little bit different for me to be putting them that way, because I'm used to the underspins and they're down the other side, but it's a little bit, just the orientation of the mold's a little bit different. And here's the number 4 hook. So that's right there is pretty tiny, but we got a number 6 hook, and this is the smallest hook I think I've used so far, is a 6. So these are very, very tiny. Oh, good Lord. That's going to be a very interesting pour right there. Okay, so we got everything all set up. Let me just show you guys real quick. Biggest to smallest. And I think we're ready to close that mold. I'm just going to go ahead and make sure, I'm going to lay this flat and make sure all these little swivels are in the right spot, and I think they are. Go ahead and close it. Sounds like it closed really well. No gapping when I closed it. And now I think our lead is hot. I've been heating it up for a while, and we are. So let me just jump this out real quick. Alright guys, I'm going to move my little catcher here from underneath this lead pot. And I think we are ready to go. And I'm just going to go ahead and fill every cavity. And I'm going to, just for safety's sake, I'm going to stick that nozzle down there as far as I can. I can't remember if this is, which one's the smallest. I think this is the smallest right here. So we just did it. We had our dropout in there. Let's see how we did here. Looks like they all went to one side, and every one of them filled out the way we wanted them to. The Arsenal dropout really, really does help. Hopefully you guys can see that, because I can't see the camera. So not bad. Not bad at all. So we're going to get those out of there, take a look at them, see what we can do, anything we can do to make this a little bit easier. Now this lead's probably pretty hot. Actually, it's not bad. But my concern was if any of those swivels, if they moved or anything like that. That was my kind of concern on this mold, was if they were going to move. So I'm going to set this mold off to the side here. I think we're good with the lead pot. I'm just making sure that it's not spilling lead all over the place here. I'm actually going to, well, I'm going to leave it plugged in for now just in case we find some issues, but I don't think we're going to. And from what I can see already right here, let me cut off the sprues. Get the sprues cut off the heads. There's a little bit of flashing on this tiny one, which I kind of expected. It is so stinking small. I'm not even sure what I'm going to put on there for a bait. But that is so tiny. I'll show you guys a close-up of these. It's incredible. I don't want to do that again. So the one thing about, I use these flush cutters to cut some of this lead. And if you cut it the direction to where it's flat, so one side of the blade is flat, the other side is angled. I've tried to do it angled towards the bait, like cut angled towards the bait like that, and it doesn't work. It actually kind of messes up the head a little bit. So see it on the top there? It kind of left a cut mark on the top of the head. So I'm going to try to not do that anymore. I've been trying to just do it where you can just cut it on the top of the head. If you do it flat, it ends up being a little bit better. You still gotta file down a little bit just to smooth it out, but it's really not bad. That's the biggest one there. Now, I haven't read anything else about what to do with these pony head. I'm assuming we can just put split rings. I'm sorry, that's what I was looking for, with split rings. So if we can put a little split ring on the swivel, because obviously I can't connect the blade without having some kind of a swivel there, that I think will work. So get these cleaned up here. Now these have a bubble eye on them, so they don't take eyeballs. They don't have any of that kind of thing. Okay, and I can already see some issues with some of these where, let me show you, where the lead is actually coming down. See it? It leaked through where the hook goes, and it leaked through down to here. Simple solution. All we got to do is just take some flush cutters and just very delicately just kind of go around and make sure that it trims the lead off. Lead's very soft. It'll come right off. So I just took that little piece right off, and then a little bit extra on the hook hanger, or on the bait keeper. I'm sorry, not hook hanger. So that one's all trimmed up and ready to go. But not a bad little bait. So we put a little tiny blade on there, like a little willow blade. I got some real tiny ones. That'll look pretty sharp. So again, I've got some trimming up to do. Looks like a lot of these came through the bottom of the hook, where the hook goes, where the hook comes out the bottom of the bait. So I've got to trim some of those up, and some of them flashed around the bait keeper, but not terrible. Not terrible. I'll probably end up using the middle size on these. I'm not sure which one I'm going to use off the bat, but we've got a little bit of flashing here, which is to be expected. I'm not surprised. I mean, especially this super tiny one, man. I mean, it's so small. I mean, it is so stinking small. That is a number 6 hook. That's how small it is. Look, it's about the same size as my dang finger. Smaller than my finger. So that's a pretty interesting bait there. I'm not even sure what I'm going to put on that. Maybe one of those 2-inch backup core shots from Epic, probably on one of those. That would be pretty cool. So pretty interesting. So I think what I'm going to do is let's put a swivel on one of the, let's put a split ring on one of these and see. I may have to buy some split rings. There's some small ones. I may have to. I never thought about split rings. Now I've got them with barrel swivels on them for the underspins, but this is going to be different. So these are pretty small. I think this might be the smallest you can get. Maybe you can go down one size smaller. I'll have to get some. I don't think I have any split rings that are that small. But what I do have is I have some blades for underspins that are super, super tiny. Like, I mean, super, super, super tiny. I think, yeah, this is a 0 right here. So this is probably, I think this is the smallest one they make. That's the smallest blade they make right there. So, let's try this. Let's try that. And that's kind of what we were doing here, was kind of just fooling around so we could see how these get put together, see how they work. May have to get some smaller split rings, but I don't know. Smaller split rings are going to be pretty tough to play with here. Get the split ring open. Use some split ring pliers. And I guess we got to probably put it on the bait first, I would guess. So this is very, very delicate. This is going to be very hard to show you guys, and me trying to actually get it on there. Okay, I think I got it on there. So there it is. Now I've just got it hanging on there. So what we need to do is we need to get it so that it's all the way on the swivel. And I'm just working it with my fingers. Working it with my fingers. If I'm going the right direction here. Yeah, I think I'm going the right direction. And if it's giving you issues, you can use pliers. Like, this is so small, it's pretty tough to get it on there. And we're on. Okay, so there you go. So the split ring is now on there. Okay. Now let's see if we can get the blade on the split ring. Because that's all we need. We just need it on the split ring, because the swivel will actually take care of the spinning portion. And like I said, I'm just going to put this one together, the tiniest one, because I was kind of curious how it was going to look. But there it is, guys. The tiniest little pony head jig with a size 0 Willow, and that will spin on that swivel. That'll spin on that swivel. But man, I am so excited to try. I want to try this. I really want to try this. I may leave this unpainted and take it with me and just see if I can catch something on it at some point. So that is a 132 size pony head. Pretty cool, guys. I'm actually kind of impressed. So I'm going to I think I'm going to wrap it up with that. I don't think I'm going to paint them right now. But the only thing you just got to remember when you do paint them, and I may do another video on painting these, is you just got to make sure that when you dip everything, that everything, the eye, I don't really care about. I usually dip that in the paint. I don't really care about. But this is going to be in the paint now. So you got to make sure that that's going to stay loose, that swivel. Okay? So you could try to dip it like at an angle so that this kind of stays out, but it's going to be tough to get that whole thing in there without, because you're going to have to dip down. So it may be helpful to put a little piece of tape around that, just a little piece of painter's tape around that when you dip it. Then that way, you know, when you heat it up, that swivel will stay nice and clean, because you want it to spin real good, right? So, but we'll get into that. I might make that another video, give us something to do in the near future here. But pretty cool. I like these Pony Head Jigs. I've always wanted to make a bunch of these. Never had that mold. I just got it recently, and it's all because of you guys making sure you're buying stuff at Barlow's Tackle and using that bait and tackle code, and it really helps the channel, and there's more stuff I can show you. If there's certain things you guys want me to show you, please feel free to comment below on maybe some next videos that I can, you know, show you something else. I've got a lot of different jig molds. I'll let you know if there's one that I have that I can do a video on, but please comment below and let me know. Alright guys, well that's going to wrap it up for today's video. I hope you liked that. Just a quick little demo on how to do the Pony Head Jigs, and this is the mold that I bought. I'm going to have some pictures here at the end of the video so you can check it out. I will also list all the parts that we used in the description. I think the only thing that I would do differently is maybe see if I could get a smaller split ring size, but it will be pretty difficult to put those smaller ones on. The size ones are probably okay, and I will, like I said, I will list all the parts below. All this stuff comes from Barlow's, so please feel free to go ahead and use my little code, and then that will help support the channel. Thank you guys so much for watching, and as always, remember, keep on baiting.
Beep, beep, beep.